Hello again, everybody. Rich Doctor here, looking at the markets, and I'm currently looking at the week-over-week data, talking about the majors here and comparing them to the dollar index futures. And of course, we're talking about the dollar index, on the 4-hour chart here, looking at week-over-week activity. You can see this is 2 weeks of trading, and really what I do is compare it by the yen, Swiss franc, and the Canadian, which are across the top, the euro, pound, and the Australian dollar across the bottom. And the main thing I'm looking for here, as you can see here, the dollar index futures had a pretty interesting week. You can see last week's trading activity, and we were not able to trade up, which is kind of what I was thinking was going to happen. I thought that we'd actually make our way back up to this 82.76 level, but in fact, really we trade right around the lows of last week's trading. And also at the end of the week, we noticed that we were actually breaking down more than anything. So dollar index futures pushed down to the 81 even level. This is last week's low here, low of last week. We did try to break down from it, but in fact, mainly there was this big trend line here that I was watching, and I thought that the dollar would actually rally off of this level, but it did not happen, which is interesting. So looking at the rest of the currencies here, you could see that the dollar, or the yen, for instance, the yen here was not able to get off of the lows from the previous week as well. And as we look around the board here, it's the same kind of action that we saw in the dollar index with the Swiss franc as well. Notice that the Swissy here was trading near last week's low as well. Canadian dollar was kind of interesting because it did try to trade near, or it looks like we went down to last week's low, use it as support, going back up to last week's close, and then fell apart after that. But inside week here for the Canadian dollar, as opposed to, it looks like the yen tried to break down below last week's low, and the Swiss franc did as well. But these markets really didn't do much until Friday. You can see here in the euro that we did try to get outside of last week's trading range. Most importantly, we did trade near the upper half of last week's trading range, and we did maintain the we're able to stay above the 125 even level, which does set up for potentially pushing continuing on to the 130 level. The pound here not able to break out of the previous week's trading range, and really not doing much more than just consolidating inside the previous week's trading range. You can see here that the Australian dollar was really the only market that actually was able to break outside of the previous week's trading range here. You can see push down below previous week's low, rally back up, use it as resistance, etc. a couple times, but did finish below last week's low, and it's setting up that the Australian dollar looks like it's trying to push more to the downside here. We have to keep a little bit closer attention, or pay closer attention to what may happen this week. But overall, you can see here that the Australian dollar was the only one that really set up for any kind of a decent move after it broke outside of the previous week's trading range, where the euro not able to move outside of last week's high, dollar index not able to move outside of last week's low, yen here not able to move as well, Swiss franc. And so ultimately, it was kind of a choppy week, to say the least, and that the Australian dollar looks like it was the only one that was probably the one that you could have been looking for a decent trend that would have continued based on the previous week's range. You can see here a little bit of consolidation last week, and then broke down, and it was nothing but nice movement over the course of the week, just continuation order flow to the downside here. So out of all of the currencies, it just looks like the Australian dollar was the one that was moving with any conviction. So that's all I got for this market wrap, folks. We'll see you at the next update. Don't forget to take a look at our premium content, and with that in mind, we'll see you at the next update. While I got you here, I wanted to take a quick moment to say that if you really liked what you're looking at here in the free Forex market wrap video, I wanted to give you the opportunity to come take a look at the premium weekly Forex market wrap video that I do every week. And basically it's a little bit more in depth, or should I say a lot more in depth information about the markets that I cover. And you can see here that in this short video I go over the basics about what I've been looking at on the major currencies. In the more in-depth market wrap video, I take a look at a in-depth analysis on the 6 major currency pairs. You also get actionable trading scenarios. The important thing here is that we're offering a 3-day risk-free trial, so you don't have to pay a cent. It's about a 30 to 45 minute video that'll go through all the major currency pairs that I look at, and it shows you a lot more in-depth analysis and forecast, looking at the longer term picture and the big major trends that are affecting what you're looking at on the lower time frames that you're looking at on a day-to-day basis. So take a moment to go take a look at the premium market wrap video. You can see the link here provided, www.traderstouch.com/3day, and it also includes a free membership to the Traders Learning Network, where you can meet other traders that are like-minded individuals, and they're basically there to help everybody looking at the same markets as you. So good luck, hope it helps, and look forward to seeing you on the inside.